It was summer of 2020, and the first wave of COVID has just ended. All of the restrictions were lifted, and we are allowed to do finally anything that we wanted to. We could go out into nature, we could finally socialize with the people around us, we could finally go to swimming pools, we could finally go to the mountains. Oh boy, so many opportunities have reopened for us, and everyone wanted to take advantage of it. And our family also. We decided that one day on that summer, we're gonna visit this aqua park that was really dear to us and that we go to at least once every single year because it is truly worth it. Like the swimming pools there are really nice, the food there is quite nice, and my father also really likes it there in the first place. So we decided to go there as the first aqua park that we went to on that year. And so we went through the reception after like a 1 hour long ride because it is very far away from us. And we settled down in one of the pools. And I overheard the news from my family. Like my father saying something like, there's this family with this guy who is my age, and they're gonna arrive anytime soon. And we're gonna see each other for the first time in our lives. And boy, did I get excited for a second. I was gonna, I was already visualizing what this guy could possibly look like, what we were gonna talk about, if he was gonna be compatible with me or not. And so I just patiently waited in there, and I don't remember the exact time, but a couple of minutes later, possibly an hour, they finally arrived. And we met each other for the first time. And when I say that he was one of the most social people that I've ever talked to, like he didn't have any agendas, he didn't have any theories that he made sort of before me, he didn't have any first impressions that could possibly ruin our relationship for the future. Like when it comes to friendship, of course, he didn't have any of those pre agendas. He was just a normal guy who wanted to talk about anything. And so we did. Me who was lacking social gratification from my classmates and from the people around me in general, I wanted to socialize for the first time. And so we talked about anything. We talked about music, we talked about memes, we talked about video games like Minecraft and Fortnite to some extent. You know, just the usual stuff that was popular back in 2020, that was dominating the internet back then. And also, the most important thing that truly banded us together and solidified our friendship was a gag that we started doing with each other. It was basically that we jumped into a swimming pool and we were gonna swim underneath the surface. I called this move the Ghost Rider, even though I've never watched the film or have any idea about how that Ghost Rider actually is in the first place. I just called it that because it sounded nice. You know, like riding under the water. You were just basically swimming forward underneath the surface, and it looked really cool because you were. The way that it worked, it was that you jumped into the swimming pool and you basically swam to the other side as fast as possible. So that it looked like you were literally on a motorcycle, like you were literally speedrunning it, and it worked. Even though back then I didn't really knew how to swim and let alone under the water, it still was really fun and I got the hang of it, like with any other skill out there. And of course, he laughed about it because it looked quite funny, but he joined in as well, so it was fine. And we both laughed at each other. And then we continued to talk for hours and hours until we were separated once again. It was time to go home. And on that day, boy, whew, I got a friend for life. I already knew that I was gonna meet that guy once again in the future, and I was gonna. Even though I haven't seen him for the past 3 years, I know that he's a really nice dude, and like the level of social intelligence that he has. Like, whenever I was talking to him, he had this talent of never letting the conversation die out. No matter the awkward silence, no matter the lack of themes, like the conversation topics, he wouldn't let the conversation die. He always had something to tell you, whether it was a life story, like people trading drugs at his school, or some kind of a joke, or some kind of a music that he wanted to talk about. He had you covered constantly. And yeah, we saw each other like once a year at the aqua park, and the last time I saw him there was in summer of 2021. But still, even if we lived together, even if we went to the same middle school, I am confident that he would constantly have something to talk about because that's just how he was. He just threw random bullshit at you. But I don't mean bullshit like in a bad thing. I mean like random thoughts that he had. Anything that he had on his mind, he told you about it. Any kind of meme, any kind of joke, any kind of music that he wanted to talk about, any kind of YouTube video, basically anything. He basically unloaded on me with his infinite creativity and his infinite intelligence. He literally was tapping into his subconscious mind, and it literally felt like he had the code to cheat reality. Hmm. I found that very interesting. And I sometimes remember him from time to time, asking myself, how the fuck did he manage to do that? I was a guy who had no idea about what he likes, and yet he still made such a strong connection with me just because he was there with me for like 3 hours. It was very impressive, and also when you take into the consideration that back then my mental health wasn't really the best, and when you also take into consideration that back then I constantly had a blank face as a constant expression of mine. Then you also get a recipe for disaster. Like no one wanted to talk to me, not in a bad way that they thought of me as a bad person, but because I was just repelling them with my negative energy, if that makes sense. Or not even negative energy, just nothingness in the first place. But on that day, when I met him for the last time, in October of 2021, when we had once again one of the most longest and one of the most deepest conversations of all time, oh boy, I realized something that I truly live by to this day. When the right people come to you, you will know it. And you will understand it very hard that there are people who will stick with you for a lifetime. I know that today you watch videos like top 10 conversation openers or top 7 things to keep the conversation going. Like all of these bullshit videos that actually don't care about giving you value and bring you the end results, but just want to hook you up so that you keep watching those videos. I know those kinds of videos. I have watched a lot of them. And then when you actually try it on like the 99% of people that are constantly around you, who aren't even compatible with you and don't understand you fully in the first place, it doesn't work. And of course it won't work because you can't get along with everyone. That's just a universal law. And especially not if you're not successful, if you don't have the physique, if you don't have the attention span to actually keep your eyes on the other person, if you don't have any kind of income, yeah, basically, you will live a really bad existence. But even if you do have the body, even if you do have the attention span, and even if you do have the wealth, then how do you actually keep up and have a fulfilling conversation with everyone? Well, the first thing that you must determine out of everything is, do I really feel compatible with the other person? And the answer with this guy was yes. We're constantly talking about anything. The conversation just wasn't dying out, no matter what. We were talking so much that, like 2 hours in, my throat was completely dry. And I completely felt it on him that he wanted to continue for a couple of more hours as well. Like, you will literally see the passion in their eyes and in the way that they speak, not just verbally, but non verbally as well. You will see their determination, you will see their passion of how much they like to speak with you. And this will be applied to women also in the future. When a woman actually likes you, she will make it completely clear. Her verbal and her non verbal communication, it will go into a whole another submissive level. But that's just a small heads up so that you can look forward to it. Up next, we have the strategy of aligning yourself to their energy. So let's say that you go to a new group dynamic. Well, every single one of them have a different kind of energy. I know that it may sound very vague, but trust me, it makes sense. Of course that you're gonna feel a different energy from people who drink alcohol and they have this group of going out partying at the weekends, than with the energy of people playing chess, for example. Between these two groups, there's a huge difference, and you will feel it. This is the energy, and not just the energy of the activity that they do in the first place, but their individual energy, the way that they speak, the way that they communicate verbally and non-verbally, the way that they basically exchange information in the first place. You understand? If you want to live with wolves, you need to adapt to them. And so you need to basically adapt to this energy as well. And you need to apply it to yourself as well. You need to, of course, still prioritize yourself above others, but yeah, if you want to truly get the most out of them, you need to assimilate to them in the first place, meaning that you need to study their vocabulary. So what kind of words they use in the first place, and apply them to your vocabulary also. And I don't want you to fully assimilate into their energy, because I don't want you to be just another random clone of theirs. No, no, no. You're in the group dynamic to bring something of yours, something of your value, your values as a man, your virtues, your opinions, your life stories. You want to bring that to the table as well, and in your own way of speaking. But of course, while still using the words that they use, while still using the language that they use, the way that they speak, you understand. Just assimilate into their energy, but still keep yourself authentic with them. And use your kind of energy as well, so that both of your energies can synchronize, and they can create something incredible. You don't want to put your own energy into the state of submission, but at the state of comprehension, of being at the same level, so that they can blend together and create something incredible. Of course, if you're mixing chocolate and vanilla, and if you have vanilla on a lower ratio than the chocolate, then of course, the chocolate is gonna completely consume it. But if you have them on the same ratio, then of course, they're gonna create something incredible, something with equal tastes. You understand what I'm trying to say. So this was the first huge step, and one of the first huge mindset shifts that you need to truly understand if you want to become that guy that everyone wants to be around. It is that easy. Just now go and make mistakes and go through trials and tribulations so that you truly know what I am talking about. If you want to join a community where we discuss our mental health and full of like-minded men who share the same values as you, the same likes and dislikes, the same goals as you, who are becoming the best version of themselves every single day to surpass you in the race of men, but at the same time, they will be like your true blood-bonded brothers with whom you can talk about any kind of topic and give them any kind of awkward story of yours, and they will give you life advice on it, like there's no tomorrow. Then I highly suggest that you should join our Discord clan in the description. I know that if you're watching videos like these and willing to take action, that you have way more potential than you think you have. So please, harness it and stop being held back by the 99% of people, and find actual compatible people with you who will guide you into social intelligence and how to improve it. But besides that, you can like the video, you can subscribe if you like, join the email list in the description and get yourself a free ebook about mindfulness. Comment on which part of the video you liked the most and which part of the video you will implement in your daily life. Don't forget to join the clan, you're still invited, and become a part of the family. If you want to learn about healthy mindsets that will guarantee you success in the long term and in the short term by mending your mental health and bring you on the right path, no matter what, no matter the goal, no matter the life test, no matter anything, then you should check out Timeless Readers Mindsets in the description. It is truly something life-changing and breathtaking at the same time. So please grab this asset even right now, because there's a special discount happening right now, and you would be an absolute fool to miss out on this golden opportunity. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you